Alright guys, the video is titled "Are You Playing the Long Game?" and it all stems from a conversation I was having with someone about a business that was struggling, and one of the directors was concentrating on creative marketing and sales, such as, you know, creating content and innovative ways of reaching their audience and building partnerships. And the other director was questioning this guy's actions. He actually said something like, you know, shouldn't we just concentrate on the basics, you know, what we've always done? And that director believed that they should just concentrate on continuing to deliver the services the way they've always delivered the services, just to bring the money in. And the reason I wanted to make this a topic is because I hear this way of thinking from lots and lots of people when it comes to money, business, dieting, trading, and pretty much everything in life. Because humans are wired to use our instinctive animal brain, which forces us to naturally take the easiest and the least painful path in everything we do. But it's a massive problem, because the time when we least need to listen to our animal brain is when our back's against the wall. But that's the time when we're most vulnerable and full of fear, which makes it even harder to detach from that instinctive voice in our head. I find it fascinating that when businesses are doing poorly, businesses often reduce their staff by cutting the sales team first. If anything, at that point, when the business is struggling, the business needs more sales at that point. The sales should be the last people that they cut. And when people are struggling with trading or finances, instead of spending money on their education, they put more and more money into the market and they just cross their fingers. But if there's one important lesson I've learned and witnessed time and time again, it's the biggest growth comes after the biggest struggles, as long as you keep your eyes on the long game. You know, you stay true to your initial visions and goals, the thing that sparked you off in the first place. Whenever I've been most uncomfortable, and believe me, I've had many sleepless nights and disagreements with friends and family over my actions, and I remained consistent. Every time I've done that, I've come out the back end 10x. And it reminds me of a story I heard from Robert Kiyosaki. I heard Robert Kiyosaki tell this once, and it's stuck with me ever since, and it goes like this. So once upon a time there was this quaint little village, and it was a great place to live except for one problem. The village had no water unless it rained. And to solve this problem, once and for all, the village elders decided to put out a bid for a contract to have water delivered to the village on a daily basis. And 2 people volunteered to take on the task, and the elders awarded the contract to both of them. They felt that little competition would keep prices low and ensure a backup supply of water when they needed it. Now, self-employed thinking, the first of the 2 people who won the contract, Ed, immediately ran out and bought 2 galvanized steel buckets and began running back and forth along the trail to the lake, which was a mile away. And he immediately began making money as he laboured morning to dusk, hauling water from the lake with his 2 buckets. He'd empty them into the large concrete holding tank in the village that the village had built, and then he'd be back and forward to the lake every day. And each morning he had to get up before the rest of the village awoke to make sure that there was enough water for the village when they wanted it. It was hard work, and he was very happy to be making money and for having one of the 2 exclusive contracts for this business. And on the other hand, the business owner thinking, the second winning contractor, Bill, he disappeared for a while. He was not seen for months and months, which made Ed very happy because he had no competition. Ed was making all the money. Instead of buying 2 buckets to compete with Ed, Bill had written a business plan. He created a corporation. He'd found 4 investors. He employed a president to do the work and returned 6 months later with a construction crew. Now, within a year, His team had built a large volume stainless steel pipeline which connected the village to the lake. And on the grand opening celebration, Bill announced that his water was cleaner than Ed's as well. Bill knew that there'd been complaints about the dirt in Ed's water. And Bill also announced that he could supply the village with the water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ed could only deliver water on the weekdays because he didn't work weekends. Then Bill announced that he would charge 75% less than Ed charged for his water, even though it was higher quality and a more reliable source of water. The village cheered and ran immediately for the faucet at the end of Bill's pipeline. So, in order to compete, Ed immediately lowered his rates by 75%, bought 2 more buckets, added covers to his buckets to stop the rainwater coming in, and he began hauling 4 buckets in each trip. In order to provide better service, he hired his 2 sons to give him a hand for the night shift and on weekends. And when his boys went off to college, he said to them, hurry back because someday this business will all belong to you. For some reason, after college, his sons never returned. But eventually, Ed had employees and union problems. The union was demanding higher wages, better benefits, and wanted its members to only haul 1 bucket at a time. Bill, on the other hand, realised that if the village needed water, then other villages must need water as well. So he rewrote his business plan and went off to sell his high-speed, high-volume and low-cost and clean water delivery system to villages throughout the world. Now, Bill only makes a penny per bucket of water delivered, but delivers billions of buckets of water. And all that money just pours into his bank account. Bill had developed a pipeline to deliver money to himself as well as water to the villages. Bill lived happily ever after, and Ed worked hard for the rest of his life and had financial problems forever after. The end. Now, that story about Bill and Ed has guided me for quite a few years. It's assisted me in my life decision-making process. And I often ask myself, am I building a pipeline or hauling buckets? Am I working hard or smart? And the answers to that question has always guided me to the best possible outcome. So I just wanted to put this video out because you need to ask yourself, are you playing the long game? You know, is this best to suit you now or for the long term? So please give this video a like and a share, guys. I do want to get this message out to as many people as possible. And if you like and comment below, I'm going to pick someone at random to send a book of your choice from the book section of my website, and I'll send it out to a winner at random. So until next time, take care. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below, and I'll see you next time.